You've made your best effort to make sure the customer is talking to your rep and not you, but sometimes a new face or a more senior person attracts the immediate attention of the customer, especially if they know that you were the boss. This often happens if your rep and the customer are in a new relationship and maybe your rep hasn't had the chance to establish much rapport. It can also happen if the customer thinks they might curry something more favorable with you, the boss, than they would their rep. In a worst-case scenario, the customer may have decided the rep isn't valuable, or maybe they're even trying to belittle the rep. This is rare, but it does happen. Your job as the manager and coach is to help your rep improve their success with customers. So let's look at a common scenario. Elizabeth has taken me, her manager, on a sales call to a customer she doesn't know very well. And the customer isn't trying to be negative, but they're just gravitating towards me, the boss. And in this first scenario, I just let it happen.
Hi, Cody. I'm glad we got to meet today. I brought along Lisa. She's my manager, and she's just going to be sitting in with us.
Great.
Great to see you, Cody.
Yeah, really nice to meet you, Lisa. I'm so glad you're here.
Me too.
I've got some big challenges coming up, and I've been looking at your guys' new products, and it's really nice to have a decision maker in the room. No offense, but we've got some big hurdles to get over, and I'm hoping some of your products are going to be the answer for those.
Yeah, I think there will be. In fact, let me get the product information here. And there's 3 things that I think I want to draw your attention to here. And the first one here is, I think, going to be the most relevant for you in
Fantastic.
your scenario.
Great, thank you.
It seems like that went well. The customer was smiling, and they're interested in the product. But behind the scenes, there's a problem, because you see, the rapport was built with me, the coach, not the rep. So there are 3 things you can do to ensure that your rep is not left out of the conversation. First and foremost, discuss the possibility of this with your rep in advance of the call, or in advance of the whole day if you're making multiple calls or doing multiple phone calls together. Talk about what might happen and how you'll handle it if the customer focuses on you, the coach. The second thing you can do if this does happen is you can ask your rep a question to include them in the conversation. Maybe mention their expertise and then leave it open for the rep to add value and expertise to the conversation. And the last thing is, pay close attention to your body language. Make sure you're positioned to address both the rep and the customer. Because you see, when you face only the customer, it sends a message that this is a two-way conversation. Let's take a look at how adding these 3 techniques changes the dynamic of that previous conversation.
Hi, Cody. I'm really glad we got the chance to meet today. I've brought along Lisa. She's my manager. She's just going to be sitting in with us.
Great to see you, Cody.
Really nice to meet you. I'm so glad you're here. Been looking at some of the new line items, some of the new stuff that you guys got coming out, and I've got some challenges coming up, and so it's really nice to have, no offense, but a decision maker in the room to hopefully get through some of those hurdles.
Well, I'm really glad we're both here. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I'd love to take a look at some of the items that we discussed over the phone first, if we could.
Right. So we just got out of the new product meeting, and there's one in particular I think is really going to make a difference for you guys.
Fantastic.
Did you notice the difference? In the second conversation, I, as the coach, was still involved, but the questions and responsibilities were shifted to the rep. That way, the relationship between the rep and the customer is strong, with or without the coach.